Time now for Ask the Expert. We're joined today by our resident pet vet, Dr. Katie Heinrich from the Silver Spring Animal Wellness Center.
And look who's here, Charlie. What kind of dog is Charlie?
Charlie's a Chihuahua mix.
Okay, can I call you Charles? You like Charlie? Okay, we'll go by Charlie. Charlie has corneal edema?
Corneal edema, yes.
Yeah, what is that?
So it's not a very common illness, and it's something that he was likely born with. And so the cornea is the window of the eye, the most outer clear surface. And what happens in corneal edema is there's a layer of cells in the cornea that's responsible for regulating the water intake that comes in and out of the cornea. And in Charlie's case, those cells aren't working appropriately. So water builds up in the cornea, it swells, and it creates a bluish haze.
Is that what we see here?
That you can see in the picture.
So on the left side is what?
That
looks
is
brighter blue.
Yeah, that's the corneal edema. It's kind of a hazy bluish color, and I believe the other picture is after treatment.
Now, Charlie looks great now.
He sure does.
But when he was just a puppy, you know, the word on the street was he was kind of a lemon because his eyes were just so bad. I mean, tell us about that treatment that it took to get him from that state to how good he looks today.
So in his instance, the treatment is basically a hypertonic saline eye drop that sucks the water out of the cornea.
And this is it?
That's it, and that allows him to see normally. And in his case, he responded very, very well to that medication. In other cases, it doesn't respond so well based on the cause. Sometimes there's an age-related degeneration. Other times they have glaucoma or a lens problem, and they need surgery to correct it. So not all cases respond as well as his.
So most people want blue eyes, but it's not a good situation for
No.
a dog. So do you notice it coming on, or is it one day there they are with the bright blue eyes?
It depends on what causes it. In his case, it was probably a more gradual onset, and if it's an aging-related degenerative change, then it's a more gradual onset. What I don't want people to confuse us with is a normal aging change in a dog's eyes at home. A lot of people, if they have older dogs, will notice kind of a bluish-white haze when they see their dog's eyes in certain light.
This is a puppy problem.
This is not always. In his case, it was, but in his case, his eyes were very blue. It was kind of on the surface of the cornea. In older dogs at home, people might see back in the lens kind of an opaqueness, and a lot of people think that's cataracts, but it can be, but it more commonly is just a normal aging change in an older dog's lens that does not result in any vision problems.
The group of people we have in the studio right now going,
well, Charlie is pretty precious.
He is darling. He's a very good boy.
He does not lack in the cuteness department.
No.
So if people have a concern, how expensive would it be to treat this situation?
In his case, his eye medications are, I don't believe, very expensive at all, which is great. If it's something that requires surgery, that's a whole other ballgame that we have to weigh the pros and cons and do what works best for your situation.
All right, Dr. Katie, thanks. Have a question for any of our experts, please send an email, asktheexpert@tmj4.com. We'll take a voicemail too at the number on your screen. Coming up,